We're a confident team. We know that we haven't played up to our standard that many times in these first 8 games. So, I don't think that we like looking at this game to draw a bunch of confidence, some newfound confidence. I just think when we can run the ball effectively, not turn it over, I think the results today is kind of what we can expect.
Hello, running the ball. Purdy last night, pretty good, Brew. Go to that bottom line, 7 for 7, 140 total yards, 2 touchdowns in the third quarter, which kind of broke the game open. Were you impressed with, is your faith restored, if it ever wavered?
Well, look, you saw that quote by Trent Williams. It was measured. And I think any fan of the Niners, you should be measured. Like, they look like what I thought they were this season. Probably a playoff team. I think they'll be a playoff team, but I mean, they got a tough schedule ahead of them. And their division, what helps them is Seattle lost, and the division is all jam-packed. And the Rams now are healthy, so they're going to make some noise. But I don't think they're like the best teams right now, I think, in the NFC are Detroit, and then I'd say Green Bay. I don't know if
Washington
you want to
deserves credit.
Yeah, and I put now San Francisco healthy. We'll see what they look like if they get McCaffrey back. They're going into a bye week, which is good for them. If you get McCaffrey back, Jawan Jennings wasn't even there yesterday, so you get him back. I mean, I don't think they win the NFC.
What it's been
not what it was.
Any of the years they made deep playoff runs.
No.
Like, we can argue about Purdy later in the show. Purdy, by the way, played well yesterday objectively. I thought at the very end of the game he had a few mistakes, but over the course of the game I thought he played really well. And I agree with you. The escapability stuff is who was it on?
Great.
Collinsworth said it yesterday. He didn't say this, but he might as well have. Purdy is more mobile than Dak at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? When Collinsworth kind of said as an aside, I don't think he meant it.
That's one of Dak's problems.
Yeah, he was like, man, he doesn't run like he used to.
Yep.
Right. And so the Niners, I think the Rams can run them down. They all have 4 losses, and the Rams, right? And the Rams already beat them in the one matchup, and the Niners have, I think, one gimme left on the schedule, and so I think that it's not about Purdy as much as this just to me is a less ominous Niners team than they've had any of the last 5 years, given the fact that they've almost always had this top 5 defense to lean on, and it doesn't feel like that at any point this season. Is this a dominant defensive unit?
It definitely feels like there's a Super Bowl hangover. Not a funk like we saw Philadelphia last year, but a hangover. Like whether it's injuries or the emotional strain of going, 5, 6 years, getting close
or just
and not getting over the hump.
Games.
Yeah,
the
that's
extra,
probably
they're
something
just
to do with the
playing
injuries.
21, 20, 19 game seasons every year. It wears on you.
That rest disadvantage thing that Warren Sharp is big on too.
Yeah.
So, can I just throw a take out there on the take stock market?
Yeah.
I don't know if this route to the playoffs is necessarily a bad thing for the 49ers.
I don't.
If they get in.
And even if they don't, I don't think it's the worst thing in the world.
Oh, if they miss the playoffs?
Because they'll be back next year, not with everybody, but kind of a reset, but they'll still be good.
I like a little.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Because, right, this whole idea is the faith restored in San Fran, right? Everyone's so obsessed with going week to week. They lose a game, it's, oh my God, this is a disaster, they're this awful team. They win a game, it's faith restored, they're winning the Super Bowl. And it's all too extreme. The 49ers played a bad team in the Dallas Cowboys, but it was still a great win, a resilient win. I really loved what I saw from Brock Purdy, 18 for 26, 260 yards, 10 yards per attempt, 1 touchdown, a 114 rating. He rushed. He looked awesome, from a mobility standpoint, really, really impressive. The 49ers as a whole, 36 carries, 222 rushing yards, 6.2 yards per carry. Just a dominant performance. It was awesome to see Pearsall involved, right? He had 1 carry for 39 yards, 4 receptions, 4 targets for 38 yards. So there was a lot of intentionality of getting him the ball, but it was never forced. The story for the 49ers is not a Super Bowl hangover or this or that. They've had some bad injuries at bad moments, right? That is who they are. So I do agree that right now the 49ers are not this scary, domineering dominant team that we have seen in the years past, right? Where it was like, oh my God, you're facing the 49ers. This is scary. This is intimidating. You got to bring your A game. As of right now, right, 8 games in, that is not who the 49ers are. That's not to say that's not who the 49ers will become once they get Christian McCaffrey back and as the season evolves and they get better, they get healthier, and they get back more closer to full strength. Will they be able to capture that level of dominance that they've had in years past? Probably not. Does it mean that they can't win and that they can't be a true contender? Not at all. Like, I think of course they can, because I think Brock Purdy is becoming a better quarterback. I think this team is becoming better in other pieces, in other ways. So the name of the game right now for the 49ers is for them to be able to continue to build resilience and depth, right? So when they get their other pieces back and when they are finally fully to being 100%, that's where they'll be able to go. That's where they'll be able to become something significantly better, right? Because right now, you can see the dominant punch that a team like the Detroit Lions can throw. You can see the consistency that the Kansas City Chiefs can throw, right? You have to figure out, though, then with the 49ers, what makes them special? What can they rely on and lean on to get them through these tough moments throughout games, throughout the weeks? And again, the problem is that that's unclear because you're getting Christian McCaffrey back, right? So everything should drastically change. But you can't just rely on, say, well, as soon as we get Christian McCaffrey, we are now going to be a juggernaut. That's probably not going to be accurate, right? Because there's still other key injuries that would potentially hold that back. But if they can continue to develop Pearsall and he can be who they hope him to be, it's obviously asking a lot from a young rookie player who hasn't even been able to really have this season unfold in the way that you would hope him to be, hope because of obviously, extenuating circumstances. But that's still another X factor that they're going to wait to unleash as well. So just getting a more mature, fully developed Pearsall along with Christian McCaffrey, I think is going to be a huge boost. They should also be getting healthier defensively as well, which will also go a long way. So this season is definitely going to be fascinating from a 49ers perspective. It's going to be a grind. It's going to be tough. But at the same time, in years past, the 49ers have been so dominant, and yet they didn't come away with the Super Bowl, right? So just because you're not as dominant as you were maybe in years past, or don't have the ability to blow out teams like you had been able to do in years past, doesn't automatically mean that you're a less than team, right? That doesn't mean that's not what it is either. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about San Francisco 49ers? Do you have faith restored in them? What do you think that they'll be able to, to accomplish this season? What do you think Christian McCaffrey will add to them? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions, let's get in some fights, but ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.